It's been a while since I've uploaded a video on the KSM series, but I was nearing the end of my semester and that had to take priority over any gaming. Don't worry though, I have been playing WoW, even more so casually than usual, and the times I could log in I just went to the Forbidden Reach and went around the island hunting rares, getting treasures, and finding catch-up gear tokens for my alt. I have not been productive at all in the game, but guess what? I did finish my semester and I also got Keystone Master, which is why this episode is titled Getting Keystone Master, and the thumbnail is showing the achievement and me on the mount, but you get it. So if you are miraculously still here after such a long absence, or if you're one of my new subscribers, thank you for sticking around, and you better get ready for the hardest push you've ever seen. I'm ready to make laboring mothers and people with constipation feel like they're just not pushing hard enough. So please remember to subscribe, click the notification button, and join me in the last push to get Keystone Master. Hello everyone, I'm Diode and welcome to episode 6 on the road to Keystone Master for season 1 of Dragonflight. And wow, what a journey it has been. I started off this series because I thought to myself that I was gonna try to enjoy Dragonflight, so I might as well try something I had never done before. I did that during Shadowlands, where I got my first ever ahead of the curve achievement with an unholy DK, and even though I didn't record that for YouTube, as it was much more of a personal goal for me at the time, I remember the feeling I got when the guild I was with at the time finally downed heroic Denathrius. After that, and like many other people, I stopped playing Shadowlands because you had to maintain so much on your character to be viable that I just burned out. This time though, the game looked better. It looked fresh in a way, so I decided to hop back in. After watching a few Keystone Master videos on YouTube, I took it upon myself to make that my goal this patch, and you probably saw my first video where I think I explained most of it, so if for some reason this video just popped into your recommended, come back after watching the series, don't worry, it's a few episodes, we'll be here when you get back. For those of you that are caught up, you know the drill. I tell you the dungeons I ran, the good, the bad, the ugly, and this time I had a lot of bad and a lot of ugly, but I'm gonna get into that, so let's begin. The journey continues with Dino Bear at 392 item level and a 4-piece tier set, so we have all the bonuses and all the goodies. Even more so if you look over at the Onyx Amulet I have right there on one of my ring slots. I slotted the recommended stones on it, enchanted my gear, and with all the prep done, it was time to jump into more Mythic Plus. Considering I'm in a race against the clock with very little time to spare, I decided to throw away the rule of just using my key to climb and started looking for groups that were running keys that would upgrade my overall score. For those new to this whole thing, my score that day was 1043, with my highest key being Halls of Valor at 12 and the lowest being a Shadow Moon Burial Grounds at 7, with the Azure Vault and the Ruby Life Pools with 0 keys run on it. So to get my score up, I needed to run the keys I have yet to complete, do the ones that I have at a higher level, and try to beat the timers of all of them. It all begins with the level 11 Azure Vault. As this is my first time running it, I'll try to play the run. But as with all repeating dungeons, I'll give less details about the run the more times I run the same dungeon, because I'm not gonna bore you by narrating the entire thing over and over again. So, Azure Vault. Almost everyone will pull this first Lash and Seal into the hallway and sometimes pull the entire room into the hallway. I'm not doing that because I am not running with a pre-made group. I'm running with pugs, and if there's something you have to learn from my video series is never to trust pugs the same way they're not gonna trust you. So, interrupt the mystic vapors from the lashers and the erratic growth from the tenders. Aside from that, just DPS the mobs and jump down to clear the room. You must watch your feet, because these slimy boys will blow up when they're killed, so you gotta keep moving. If you're brave, you can just pull the entire room. Just be sure to stay away from the middle as to not to pull the boss accidentally. Okay, for the first boss. You'll see me make a lot of mistakes, but it's just an 11. The DPS is good, so I just goof around. Also, I had no idea what to do because this is my first time doing the fight, but that's irrelevant for the video. You'll see me improve later on. The big thing here is the erupting fissure. You want to position the boss in a way that when he casts the fissure, you line up as many crystals as possible to burst. These crystals will spawn the slimy boys, but you know how to deal with them already. Oh, also, when you get the big circle around you, stand close to the crystals, you can burst them with the group and kill more slimy boys. The next part is self-explanatory, just go around the ring, kill all the things and get that percentage up. The second boss requires you, if you're playing a tank, to keep your eyes up for whenever she casts Arcane Cleave. This is her tank buster and it chunks your HP bar, so be sure to keep a defensive ready for that. She always casts this after summoning a mirror image and she yells out to shred you. If you have DBM or any other dungeon tool, you have like 6 different warnings for that ability, so you really have no excuse. Also, coordinate the kill order with your team once the 4 mirror images appearing during the boss's immune phase. The last thing you want is having all 4 DPS attacking a different image and your entire party getting wiped. From here, just pick your favorite route and jump down the skip, which I do on a future run, or just continue down the frog path. After clearing all the mobs and getting 100% clear, take the transport book to fight Talash Greywing. When he uses his frost bump, spread it to the sides as to not overlap the frozen ground. Remind your group to use defenses for Icy Devastator and stack on the sigil whenever Absolute Zero is being cast. If you can't, help your healer top everyone off during these casts and just carry on repeating the same strategy around the stage. The final boss, Umber Skull, is straightforward at this level. Just tank him close to the wall and help your group DPS the crystal to avoid detonations hurting your party. Keep defenses ready for Dragon Strike and watch the arcane balls on the ground. Some more DPS and the dragon goes down. A freebie this season was Shadow Moon Burial Grounds. I have talked about this dungeon ad nauseum before, so you know the drill. The important thing to look out for is the Void Slash from the reanimated skeletons. I can't tell you how many times I've ever taken huge hit or straight up just died because I wasn't paying attention. This is just a level 10 key, but at higher levels they can instantly kill you if 2 or more casts go off. So just keep backpedaling to outrage the slash and you should be okay. Like I've said before, you've seen the burial grounds, you've seen how they go, so just nuke Ner'zhul and get that +2 upgrade to your key. Easy. So about 2 dungeons in and my rating has already gone up to 1248. Making progress, slowly but surely. The next dungeon I cleared was a Ruby Life Pulse, but I forgot to press record for about 3/4 of the dungeon, so enjoy the last boss with another +2 key and a 1402 rating. I did an Argothar's 12 right after the Ruby Life Pulse, but it was a deathless run and I only got 10 rating from it, so I'm not gonna talk about it. After that, I went to a +12 Temple of the Jade Serpent that you've also seen time and time again. We had a few wipes here and there, but I want you guys to look at the final pull of the dungeon just to compare it to later runs. I go in confidently telling my group to pop off boys, but I rush in and I just stand in one place focusing the infester instead of cleaving down the minions of doubt because these dudes cast Dark Claw, and that is what is dangerous in this pack. Hunting guys as well, but there's only one of those versus 2 claws in the group. It gets even worse when all 3 casts go off at the same time, like this. Even so, with 14 deaths we managed to clear the key and get to 1421 rating. I end up going back to another +12 Algarthar, which gets easily +2'd, bringing me to 1481 rating. The next dungeon was Halls of Valor, which you've also seen a lot in this series. So I just have to say that the first time I did this dungeon, I believe it was a +3, I said that I have heard horror stories. Now I'm living them. This is a +13 Halls dungeon. Our timer has run out and we have 16 deaths. At this point, I'm tired, I'm angry, and I'm playing so bad that I caused the group to wipe, bringing it to a total of 21, and still, in the final pool, people still die, bumping the number of deaths to 23. Thankfully, since this was a higher level than my previously completed Halls of Valor, I still get rating and the Keystone Conqueror achievement, even if the timer was not beat. At 1500 rating, I decided to play one more dungeon in the night to close it off. So I looked for a burial grounds, I found a 14 which was higher than what I had done previously, so the rating was secured. SBG has been the palette cleanser this season, so this should be an easy run to close the night off. I say that, as halfway through the dungeon the group is at 14 deaths because of explosives. I'm trying to do bigger pulls, I'm trying to beat the timer, I'm getting frustrated at all the deaths, and it snowballed through the run. I started not paying attention to explosives, to thundering, which caused a lot of the deaths for the remainder of the group. And even with 26 deaths, the group manages to beat the timer, +1 the key, and get my rating up to 1653. There are a lot of recorded runs to go through, so instead of doing that, I'll just quick fire the completed dungeons as we near the dawn of the final day. Some of these dungeons were my own key, some of them were groups I applied for to boost my rating up. I begin the final week at 398 item level, a few changes in gear including the flaring cowl helmet for the AoE fire damage, an upgraded onyx amulet, and an upgrade for my chest which I catalyzed into a tier piece. I hit up another Shadow Moon Burial Grounds which the group beats with enough time to +2 my key and bump my rating up to 1679. I almost messed up a 15 no-cut offensive because tragically I miscount the percentage, die on a random pull, then almost fly to somewhere totally unnecessary. Luckily the group calls me out and we managed to get that extra percent just 1 second away from the expiring key, bringing me to 1734 rating and getting me the Keystone Master achievement for finishing a 15 with very questionable times. So I guess that's it. I got Keystone Master and my journey with Dino Bear is over for the time being. I have achieved my goal for the current patch and now I can relax until 10.1 comes along. Thank you all for watching and I hope to see you on the next adventure. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Whew, okay, that was a nice recording. Let me check the recording time, and let me see the mount. Wait, was that the wrong achievement? Where's the mount? Oh god, was that the wrong Keystone Master?